are joined by Sentinels Shazam, Team Liquid Jampy, Cloud9 Vanity, and Fnatic Boaster. Press had the option to submit questions live or submit them in absentia of the event. We will begin with our pre-submitted questions. This first question is for Shazam from Ashir Ahmed from The Spike. How do you feel about your group's competition, especially with Team Liquid being in such a dominant form?
I feel like we got a pretty balanced group, to be honest. It's not like we're going to underestimate anyone, but we didn't feel like we got the most difficult group or anything unfair, in all honesty. So, I mean, it's okay. Just you have to beat every good team anyways.
This next question is for Jampy from Josh Wilkinson from Plat Chat. From your point of view, how much of Liquid's play do you think is prepared beforehand versus improvised on the fly?
I think every team always does a good preparation before the games, but I think it's kind of mixed, of course, what people think, but yeah, I don't know.
This next question is for Boaster from Brandon Moore at Run It Back. Fnatic missed out on playing some teams new to this international Valorant stage at Masters Berlin. Are there any teams from that event who made it into Champions that you're just itching to face?
First of all, I'd like to thank Gambit for getting us to Champions. Any teams from that event? Well, I don't know really, actually. I'll play anyone, but we'll go for Envy. That'll be quite fun because they made it to the finals and I haven't actually played them yet. Actually, no, I didn't scrims at the last event. Yeah, let's just go with Envy, screw it. Oh, no, Vision Strikers. Oh, did they make it? I can't remember. Yeah, they did, didn't they? Vision Strikers, let's go for that.
This next question is for Vanity from Gilgay at Esports Gazzetzi. You will be facing Fnatic again, though this time with your new team. How do you think the matches will differ compared to the ones you had while playing with version 1?
I don't know. I mean, it's a completely different group of players. They're the same team, but I'm playing with 4 new people. I think, obviously, we had a stand going in Iceland, and we were a little underprepared because the circumstances, the practice circumstances weren't the best because, the ping and then the PCs combined. But I don't know. I mean, we're excited to play. Hopefully, we can get some revenge.
Yeah, well, I can actually tell you how the game's going to go. This is your bum. That's me during the game and after. No. No, it's going to be a fun game, though. I look forward to playing you again.
This next question is for Shazam from Brandon Moore at Run It Back. Without giving too much away, how has Raucus slotted into the coach role? What kind of work has he done, and how has your job changed?
Yeah, Raucus has been extremely helpful, honestly. It's impressed me how much, more than I expected originally. But outside of just stuff in game, some more set plays in game, more gimmicky things that we could do because we usually stick to the fundamentals. He's been pretty good at recording practices for us, taking notes, and so when we watch back, we kind of break down the things and have more productive discussions, as well as holding people accountable. It's one thing to get complacent and go through the motions, but it's another to kind of change things up and head in with a new mindset. So it's been a lot of help and it eased off the workload on my shoulders.
This next question is for Jampy from Ariella at IGC. Before the start of the Champions, it was revealed that Navera tested positive for COVID-19. Now knowing this, were you and your teammates afraid of being out of Champions?
Of course, it was not an ideal situation where we were, but yeah, I don't think we were ever afraid that we are not going to make the Champions. I think it was more just about if we can play with him, with Niver or not. I think otherwise we would have had to have a stand-in playing with us, but thank God Riot handled this situation pretty well and they let us play with Niver, so it's all good at least for now, but yeah.
This next question is for Boaster from Esports Gazzetesi. Do you think it'll be you and Sentinels in the grand finals again? And if so, what would you do differently this time?
I honestly don't know who was going to be in the grand finals with us. I wouldn't mind Sentinels, or I don't mind meeting them in the quarters or the semis if we make it that far too. I would like to play them again because, like, I'm due a little redemption personally. I don't know if you're down for that.
I'm down.
Yeah,
Let's make it there.
Oh, ooh, thanks, man. Yeah, I think I'll take. Yeah, if I can get to the finals again, I'll do it. Yeah, let's go with that.
The next question is for Shazam from V-Zone. Sentinels was one of the favorites to win Masters Berlin, but you guys were eliminated in the quarterfinals. This result put Sentinels inside a very large discussion. Do you see Sentinels going to this Champions with less firepower or more obligation to win?
No, I know there was a lot of commotion, but it's not like we haven't lost before. That's what made our team, is like how we handle losses. We've lost big games before, and like we were able to come back and like handle it pretty well. This time around, we kind of accepted that it's better off losing the first time in Berlin than now. So I feel like we're very prepared.
This next question is for Jampy from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. How would you describe your style as an in-game leader?
Thank you. I don't know. Still kind of new to this role, but yeah, I feel like I can micromanage some things pretty well. I still get lots of help from like Scream and Soulcast, so I'm not like the only or the main only voice in the team. But yeah, I feel like I can micromanage like our people and what I want like my teammates to do. So I guess that's
Recording in progress.
okay. Yeah, got some good stuff always on the fly.
This next question is for Vanity from Esports Gazetesi. Who do you think will challenge you the most in your group?
I don't know. I mean, I've never played against Vision Strikers. I know they had like a pretty disappointing run for what they were expected to do in Berlin. So I would say Vision Strikers.
How dare you?
But I mean, I think our groups, like I think all the groups are relatively strong throughout. Like I think the weakest one is probably Group C, but I think A, B, and D all have multiple teams that have a good chance to make like deep runs in the tournament.
This next question is for Shazam from Pratiti at Sportskita. How has been the experience with the new coach? What does he bring to your team, in your opinion, as the in-game leader?
I just kind of talked about this, but like he's been really good at holding people accountable. I feel like it got to a point where it's what's it called? How do I say, like I don't want to say complacency, but we tried to go through the same motions, and like within the region things kind of felt a bit easy. But now that like we had a long break, it's been like 3 months since we played, since Masters 3, so like an official, so it's hard to like get like good practice and make time productive, and I think Rockets has helped a lot with that.
Okay, this next question is for Boaster and Vanity from Pedro Romero at The Click. It has been 6 months since you guys have faced each other competitively. As IGL's ahead of the C9 versus Fnatic match, what do you make of the other person's progress since that V1 versus Fnatic affair in Reykjavik? Did you sense a significant improvement from each other?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say Vanity and I have now broken up over his previous comment. I'm not happy about that whatsoever. I was only going to say nice things about him this press conference as well. Let's see. No, I think Vanity has always been like considered a smart IGL in NA, and you can see what the impact he has on the teams that he joins and the quick impact that he's had on Cloud9. However, we do have the benefit of being a team longer, if that is a benefit. So I'd say we have the advantage in terms of all that aspect, and whether he had enough time with that roster to really solidify it and compete with the likes of us.
I don't know. I mean, I think the biggest difference, like with Fnatic at least, it seems like they stopped switching roles on every map, which I think should help them, because I think Boaster plays Sova on most of the maps now, which is something a lot of European teams shied away from in the past. But I think they're starting to realize like how strong of an agent it is and how strong it is to have like a Sova player who's confident in his like his abilities. And I think that's probably like the biggest improvement that they've made and he's made as a team or a player so far.
Thanks, bro. I could see some good recon lineups in here as well, I reckon, like get some good ones.
This next question is for Boaster. What do you think of the Turkish Valorant scene with its ongoing scam problems right now? Do you think the teams can make a comeback for a future championship?
Honestly, I don't really know much about it, so I can't really comment on it. However, as for the competitive scene of the Turkish scenes, they've got some like big firepower. So I imagine they'll always bounce back. You know, they'll form the next roster. Oh my god, I was like rapping then. They'll form the next roster, and I'm sure they'll come guns blazing. Sorry.
This next question is for Vanity. For Mia Del Rocco as Shana. What continues after this for you as a player, win or lose? What strategy do you plan to follow in your future?
I don't know, like I kind of live in the moment, given like I don't know, my life's pretty cool. I get to travel the world playing video games, wake up, do like the thing that I love every day. So like win or lose, I'm still in this like the same spot. I mean, obviously, unless I have like 50 ACS, right? But I don't know. I'm just thankful to be here and hope we can put on a good run.
This next question is for Jampy from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. Who helps out with calling most of outside of you? Is there a secondary caller for Liquid?
I don't think there's like a set secondary caller or anything. Like I said, it's mostly Scream and Soulcast, and then we have like set roles also for Link and Niver what they do, but I think Scream and Soulcast do the most of the stuff, and especially Scream, he's good with like mid-front calling.
This next question is for Vanity from Ashir Ahmed at The Spike. You're the only Cloud9 player to have played at a Valorant LAN event. Do you believe having experience will allow you and your teammates to better adjust to this current setting?
Zed has also played at a LAN in Korea, but apart from that, yeah, it is true. I don't know. I don't think the LAN thing really is super meaningful until there's actually crowds back. Maybe I'm wrong, but I really don't think that like there's a super big difference in like playing online versus playing on a stage just against the other team. I think it's a completely different game when like you have like thousands of people screaming at you, but like in the current circumstances, I'm not really sure. Like I have no worries like that it'll be a difference in our gameplay.
This next question is for Boaster from Ashir Ahmed at The Spike. You secured second place at Masters Reykjavik, but fell short of making challengers in stage 3. So how do you feel about your current form?
Individually or as a team? I say individually. After Iceland, I kind of strayed from this path of like a leader. I started wanting to be kind of like a high impact player and like wanting the frags. And I realized that that isn't my role. My role is to facilitate my boys and make them feel make them do that job. And that's kind of how I've been focusing since then, is just becoming the best leader I can be. As for the whole team together, we've had a difficult process since Iceland of really kind of ironing out the things that we were masking in Iceland. You know, we were a fresh team then, and like everyone was just hitting shots, and it was like we had the strats, but like there wasn't much depth to it. So I think since then to now, we've just been kind of adding that, and hopefully it works out, and we're going to be hitting our shots. We're going to be coming for you. Come to your bomb site. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Yeah.
It's okay. I have a leaf.
Oh, well, I got Durka.
One singular leaf.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
This next question is for Jampy from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. You are one of the most improved players in the world over the past 6 months. You now play 4 completely different roles for Liquid to a top tier level. What were the biggest factors of your improvement from Reykjavik until now?
Thanks, Josh, for every question. I think just myself, I think in CS also, it took me some time to get like comfortable. Basically, I always knew that I have the skill to compete against the best, but I think it's just that I still was kind of new to the game. And now when I got to basically experience more different agents just from the chat, because Jet is kind of simple agent in a way, even though you need a high skill playing it. But when I used to play like more Omen, Sova, Killjoy also, I think I just got more comfortable on my things. And also I think it's also a big like mentality side. I think I kind of load my expectations of myself. I always wanted to be the best, and I still want to be the best, and I think I can become one of the best players in the world. But I think I was still too new to the game, and I I had like the feeling that I need to top frag every game, and when I used to play Jet. So I think I just switched the mentality and still like work the same, work hard, and just did my own stuff. And I think that's one of the things that have improved myself, and I feel much more confident right now that I did, let's say 6 months ago.
Our final pre-submitted question goes to Boaster, and this is from Muhammad Medina at GGWP. What is your vision of Valorant in 2022? How do you see the game growing and moving forward in the coming years?
What is my vision of Valorant in 2022? Well, hopefully Riot keeps working on their hex tech technology so we can really improve the kind of stage and the atmosphere. My vision of 2022 Valorant, hopefully Fnatic at the top, that would be nice to start off with. And just more like, I don't know really, like just like this really, I quite like this. With crowd, that would be nice, but obviously there's like...
I think that'd be the biggest thing to change is like the crowds. I mean, maybe like one more, I don't know, like maybe one more international event per year, because I think it's still only 2 next year.
You miss me that much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 3 would be nice, but I mean, I think crowds would be the biggest thing that people would like to see for sure.
COVID permitting, guys, COVID permitting.
Yeah, true.
All right, we will now take questions from journalists in the Zoom chat. If you could please use the Zoom hand raise feature to queue yourself in line for questions, and I will call on you. We have Scott Robinson at .esports.
Hi, everyone. So this question's for each of you, or whoever wants to answer. In games like CSGO and Valorant, there's a large amount of roster overhaul in the scenes, especially with teams that haven't achieved the level of success that you guys all have. Does reaching this level of competition afford each of you a feeling of job security, or do you still feel like you're constantly competing to keep your spot secured?
I think all 4 of us are IGLs. So I think there's a lot more job security in being an IGL as long as you're like able to put up like relatively consistent results versus being like a duelist player. Maybe it would be a lot more worrying as a player. But I think as an IGL, as long as like you're putting in the work, I think the job security should be there, at least in North America, because there's not very many of us.
Well, if it all ends badly for you, I'm off to NA then, don't I?
Yeah, I think it's correct what Vanity said. I think IGL is much more like harder to basically replace if you.
I think it changes a lot within a team to like switch IGLs.
It's like a completely new play style and everything. So
Yeah, I think our team is like one of the longest standing rosters. I think that like the culture we have is pretty much like people aren't playing for their jobs. I feel like that's kind of an unhealthy way to approach it. If people are just playing for their spots, because then they're not selfless when they need to be. So like nobody's ever like, hopefully nobody's ever felt like they're at risk for their spot on the team.
Kobe Zucker, upcomer.
Hi guys, this question's for Shazam. Sentinels are one of the only teams to attend all 3 international events. How does the build up to Champions kind of compare to those previous events? Is there more hype leading into Champions, or was it maybe like Iceland as the first LAN event that kind of held the most hype for you?
I would say it's been a pretty similar feeling throughout all of them. I think the being in the same spot as Masters 3 is kind of like not made it feel as hyped as I feel like it should be coming into Champions. And obviously I'm biased because Iceland was a really good time for us. But I think that when we've gotten here after the quarantine and actually doing like, the recordings for the production and stuff, it's given us a lot more hype just to see what the broadcast is going to look like. But I'd say that we're pretty disappointed in like the prize pool and stuff.
Thank you.
Barash for One Tap Valorant.
Hey guys, Jumpy, my question is towards you. Following the positive test of your team at Nivera, it has become clear that you will play in separate rooms from him. Do you think that will play any mental impact on you and your teammates?
for sure, it's a little bit, mess. I think everyone of us wanted to play in the stage, but that's how it goes sometimes to life. But yeah, I think so. It has a little effect, but safety is the first thing here, and hopefully we can be on the stage in the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Thank you.
The score.
So my question's for Shazam. I spoke to you before you left for Champions, and you said that you were looking forward to playing some of the other regions, like other than Europe in particular. And I was wondering if you've had a chance to maybe scrim some of these other regions, and is there any team that has impressed you in particular?
Yeah, so like with the timings, like the structure, whatever, it was hard to get like good prac in NA with teams like everyone's in like rebuilding phase. So as soon as we got here, we started like booking out a lot of scrims and playing a lot. Just like Masters 3, I'd say like Vision Striker is just like really strong in prac. And it's not just like results, it's like when you play against them, you know, like everything they do is really calculated. Trying to think who else. I'd say Vikings is pretty strong, and X10 too. They impressed me.
Mark from Absolute Legends.
Hi everyone, my question for Champy. Your team, Team Liquid, have now an impressive win streak. You won 10 matches in a row. Will this fact give your team an extra confidence, or is it a common thing for you?
Yeah, it's super common to be unbeatable. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, of course, it's a huge build-up. You know, I think the last chance qualifier we had, it was like a huge pressure for us. There was, I think, us and Cheeto and Gilbert are like the favorites going into that, and like just the pressure of qualifying, and you know that kind of fell off. And I think after the last chance qualified, the Red Bull thing, it was kind of the same thing. In the Red Bull tournament, we didn't have almost any pressure anymore because Champions was the thing. Like it's the main goal for us. So yeah, it's just a huge confidence that we haven't lost the map since. Actually, we haven't lost the maps, but we haven't lost the series since Nivar joined. So of course, it's a huge confidence boost for like individually and as a team.
Thank you.
We have Tarek representing the North American Watch Party.
Hey guys, this is Tarek from NA Ranked Q. I just wanted to ask Shazam. I have two questions for you. My first question is, who are your favorites for the event? And my second question is, do you heckin' love tens?
That just favorites, I'd say us, Gambit's a given, NV2, they're the guys that beat us last time, and Bad Chest, I heckin' love tens.
Well, we have something to say about that, us three, because we plan to be in the finals as well.
Briggsy from Esports GG.
Hi there. Nice to see you guys. This question is for all of you. I just wanted to know, beyond, obviously scrimming and anything like that, what are some things that you do outside of the game to get you pumped up for such a big event like this when there's an absence of a crowd?
I mean, I don't think I do anything in particular to like, it's just like, I don't know, just happy to be here playing the game that I love, right? Like, I don't really do anything special outside of that. It's just exciting to be here.
Yeah, I like to jump in my room and hype myself with some Roger Federer hype videos. get some inspiration from the GOAT. So I think that's how I hype myself up into the games.
I'll probably go for a jog, listening to Riot's new song "Die for You."
Yes.
That's kind of hype. Other than that, no, nothing really. Just jogging.
Yeah, I think watching other games makes me really want to play. But people have their own stuff. Like I know Dapper, he'll watch like anime music videos before every game.
Valid. Thank you, guys.
Next question from My Game On.
Hi guys. This question is for Shazam. So with tens being quite the star of Sentinels, are your strats built around tens, or is there a different way?
No, I wouldn't say any of our game plan is necessarily built around a certain player, but I think at the end of the day, obviously we do want to set it up to succeed. I think when it comes to like role wise and how we want to approach like positions and stuff, for sure, like you have to factor in that, you know, he is the strongest, like one of the strongest players in the world.
Out of game 2.
Working on that one.
Yeah.
Luis from Dexerto.
Hi, this question is for Vanity. A lot of people, from players to analysts, have had some really good things to say about your team. Do you see yourselves as one of the favorites? And do you think that all this praise from players and analysts puts a lot of pressure on the team's shoulders?
I don't know. I think my team's too dumb to really like think any of these analysts like take anything they say seriously. Like we're all pretty stupid. I mean, we're just gonna go out there and play video games. Maybe hopefully we can shoot some heads better than the other team. But yeah, I don't really think like we're gonna hopefully not deal with the nerves too much. I don't think there'll be very many issues.
Thank you.
Ignacio from Alert to Geek.
Hey guys, first of all, thanks to Riot to give me the opportunity to be in here. My questions are for Shazam Jumpy. As a Latin American person, it's important to me to know what do you think about crew esports?
I can start. I actually think they have a huge potential. We played a lot of practice against them in Iceland. Of course, not now because we are in the same group. And I think in Iceland they surprised us, especially in practice. But when we faced them in the official match, I think they didn't play actually that good. At least if you compare to the pracs. And I think it was just like, I'm not sure how much experience the players have, but now when they have been in a few LANs, I think it's gonna be like completely different circumstances for them. So I think it's gonna be they're a much more better team than they were at least 6 months ago.
Yeah, I would say the same thing as them. When we practiced versus them in the other tournaments, I'd say they're a pretty strong team during practices. And I think they're one of the other teams that have also been to all the LANs so far.
Yeah.
So I think that hopefully plays a good role for them coming into Champions.
Thank you, guys.
Kobe Zucker from Upcomer.
Hi, this question's for Boaster. I was wondering if you could give us any sneak peeks about your entrances/celebrations during the games. And as a follow-up, are you worried you're going to get outperformed by Paddy Pan in the rematch from Iceland?
I'm not too worried about that. As for the celebrations, I'll have to keep them on the hush-hush. But for an entry, I do have a plan. It's just whether Vanity will agree with it after we talk after this. We'll have to find out.
Run it back, GG.
Hi guys, my name. This question is for Boaster. So Magnum spoke pretty highly about the addition of Anders as strategic coach. What can you tell us about his addition? Any major groundbreaking changes due to his addition to Fnatic?
So with us adding Anders as an extra mind to the strategy, it's I'd say it's very impactful. I guess it's like adding a different perspective, like Vanity said, with our kind of roles. When I was in charge, I was just doing whatever I wanted with the roles. So I was like, we're doing this comp. Look at it. 3 smokers on bind. Let's go, baby. But I think with Anders, we're generally running a more kind of like statistical and analytical kind of setup now, really focusing on that. And yeah, and then when it comes to kind of like the in-game stuff that isn't to do with comps, it's more to do with like how we set about the map and how we kind of play the map and mid-round situations and whatnot. So I think just having an extra mind to kind of either contest me or kind of challenge me, and then like when 2 people kind of clash and it keeps like building up and whatnot, where I guess it's that kind of atmosphere vibe going on where we're it's very beneficial is essentially what I'm saying. Yes.
Thank you.
Elizabeth from The Score.
Hi, I just want to thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time to speak with us, number one. And number two, my question is for Shazam. You said in an interview a while back that when you didn't have a coach, being the IGL, you took on a lot of parts of that role. Now that you have a coach and being fully able to step into the IGL role, how do you think that has impacted your team, your plays, and just your, obviously not without giving anything away, but just your, how has it impacted the Sentinels?
It's made it a lot easier for me, for sure. Being able to like have someone there that can like record the pracs and take notes on key rounds, and if I ask them like, hey, like take note of this, and then we can just discuss it afterwards. Also, more so on us like defining our roles. I feel like we had a bit of like overlap on roles in certain maps, and so Ruckus has been like a really good contribution in like making people be in more defined roles and just get better at them. And outside of that, like with the prep work, I feel like it'll still be more of a combined effort. It's not like I'm just going to allocate the responsibility all to him. I feel like it'll just be both of us doing it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shazam.
Thank you.
And final question for TT from Sportskeeda.
Yeah, hi. My question will be to Vanity. So, when most of the teams in Champions have past LAN experience, this is the first international LAN for Cloud9. Do you feel this can put the team on any disadvantage? Also, do you believe Cloud9 can be a dark horse in this tournament?
I don't know. Given like the whole situation me, Leaf, and Zeppa went through last year, I don't really think that like a LAN with no crowd will have too much of an impact on like our mentals.
Okay, thank you, everyone. This concludes the first press conference. We will continue on with the second press conference soon. But first, players, please stand up and we will take your picture.
Please stand up.
Thank you.
Please stand up.
Continuing with questions for Ascend Zeke, Gambit Redgar, and Vision Strikers Stacks. Our first question is for Zeke from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. Your performance online and reportedly in scrims as well is incredible. What do you think went wrong at Berlin for you to not show that the first time?
You mean my team performance or my own performance was pretty good at Berlin, I think.
Team performance.
Our team performance at Berlin was probably due to just the inexperience at LAN, and I think not every player in our team was comfortable enough to just play their best at LAN, and that's why we kind of flopped. But now that we already played Berlin and we also played another LAN in Barcelona, I think we are ready for this one.
This next question is for Redgar from Ariella at VZone. The last few days, your coach said that Vikings, the Brazilian team that is also in Gambit's group, were very good during scrims. Have they impressed you so far?
We played versus them, and like they shocked us with their play style. The things how they're moving on the map, the things how they have a team play, it was really good, and we were like, we should be more curious with them.
This next question is for Stacks from Jeffrey Choi at KJC Esports. As one of the top teams in VCT, some teams would be doing their due diligence and researching and preparing against you. Do you think the team has made significant improvements from your Masters 3 performance to now that being counter-stratted is no issue, especially with no new VODs for the teams to refer to except for only Masters 3?
네, 비전 스트라이커즈는 BCT에 참여하는 팀들 중에서 굉장히 강한 팀으로서 다른 팀들이 리서치를 많이 할 것으로 예상이 되는데요. 그에 따라서 비전 스트라이커즈는 이렇게 카운터 전략을 좀 준비를 하셨는지, 마스터즈 3 대비해서 많이 성장을 하셨는지 궁금하네요.
저희들은 딱히 작전 같은 거는 하나도 없고, 저희들은 그냥 말로 커뮤니케이션으로 임기응변으로 하는 조금 그런 거를 좀 좋아하는 스타일이기 때문에 저번에 마스터즈 3 베를린에서 같은 경우에는 실수가 많았고 처음 국제 랜이다 보니까 좀 그런 경향이 있었지, 이번에는 뭔가 조금 쉽게 조금 자신감이 있는 것 같아요.
We actually don't play with set strategies that often. We're actually much more versatile and depend on direct communications within the game. And so last time during Masters 3, we had a lot of small mistakes that led us to some losses. But I think this time around, we're much more prepared and we're very confident in going further in this tournament.
This next question is for Redgar from Jeffrey Choi at KJC Esports. Your first game will be against Team Secret. This will be the first time you guys will be facing an SEA team on the VCT stage. What are your opinions on how SEA teams play? If you've ever reviewed some games of Team Secret or SEA teams in general?
I think that their play style, like the more team play with abilities, they like to use it. And that's the point of their player style. So we know how to counter that play style. We already faced it. So I guess we are fully prepared. And what about their bots? We're gonna watch it like today because I don't think that you should watch the opponent's bots that much before the game. You need 1 or 2 days to prepare for them well. So I will start to do it today.
This next question is for Redgar from Ariella at VZone. Gambit played recently the home ground 2, but your team got eliminated in quarterfinals. Did this tournament help your team to prepare for champions, and if so, how?
Yes, it was the painful experience. Thank you, Zeke. We learned a lot from that game because we watched our mistakes. It was the basics that we forgot during our preparations for the new strategies or something like that. And after that game, we know what should we improve till the Berlin. So now we are fully prepared, and thanks to them for showing us our weakness. No problem.
This next question is for Zeke from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. Ascend plays the least Astra out of any team at Champions, and you have actually played the most for your team just by playing it on Ascent. Why has your team gone in the opposite direction as everyone else?
I think it's because like the maps that require Astra are not really our main maps, and also Bonkel didn't really feel comfortable. He's our main smoker, and he didn't really feel comfortable playing Astra. Not saying that we might have changed it, just saying. But so far, like I said before, we just didn't. Our main maps just don't really require like Astra Stronghold, so we are just like we are very. We like our picks to be comfortable for the players, and if our player just doesn't feel playing really well on the agent, then we just don't push him to that agent.
This next question is for Zeke from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. What has Ascend done differently for Champions to ensure you go deeper than you did at Berlin?
I think we just talked with our mental coach a lot. That like he's an insane guy, and he helps us a lot. Prepare us our mental game for tournaments and even just for scrims. What we done different, I think we just like gain the experience. We try to play like every tournament before Champions to just get our form back, and I think we are ready for Champions. I think we feel very confident for every game, and to answer like it more simply, we just didn't really do much except just mental preparation.
This next question is for Redgar from Pratiti at Sportskita. After winning the Stage 3 Masters, have Gambit made any serious changes to their playstyle?
I don't think that we changed like our play style, which changed like the most strategist things. So our play style is the same that we're playing. We can play in all play styles like aggressive, passive, and we can switch it. It all depends on the opponents. So yeah, like I said, we changed only our strategies.
And our final pre-submitted question is for Zeke from Ariella at V-Zone. Ascend will play the first game against Vivo Key, one of the best Brazilian teams. You guys probably have studied them, so what can we expect from you this game? Do you think they play in a different style from you?
Yeah, we haven't really studied anyone, but we played actually one scrim even before the groups came out against them when they were in Germany before even Champions. So I'd say they are really strong right now with I don't know how to pronounce MW Zera nickname, but I'm just gonna say MW Zera. We don't really have a set plan. We're just gonna go into the game like every hour with just empty minds. That's how we always just try to go into games, set no expectations, even if the opponents are, if we are like the better team on paper, we just don't set expectations that we'll win the game. We just go into and run with the flow.
All right, we will now be taking live Q&A from the media in the Zoom chat. So media, if you would please use the Zoom hand raise feature to queue yourself in line for questions, I will call on you. We have Elizabeth at the score.
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. My question is for Stacks. Vision Strikers have many expectations from both the audience and the teams, whether it be calculated plays or other items, as was mentioned earlier in this conference. In your own words, rather than anyone else's, what can we expect from your team?
네, 비전 스트라이커즈에 대한 기대감이 되게 많은데요. 다른 팀들 그리고 팬들로부터 기대감이 많은데 본인의 말로 혹시 비전 스트라이커에 대해서 저희가 어느 정도 기대를 하면 될까요?
뭐 당연한 거는 뭐 이제 베를린 마스터스 3 베를린보다는 더 기대하셔도 된다는 거 장담을 할 수 있고 그냥 딱 보면 달라졌다라는 느낌을 받으실 것 같아요, 저는.
So definitely you can expect us to perform better than we did during Masters 3. And once you watch us play, you're going to realize straight away that we've grown and developed further from what you've seen from us in Masters 3.
Thank you.
We have Kobe Zucker.
Hi guys, this is another question for Stacks. I just wanted to know his thoughts on the fact that another Korean team didn't make it through LCQ. Did he expect a Korean team to win it? Was he surprised that Full Sense won? And what are his thoughts on that team?
네, 이번 대회 LCQ를 통해서 한국 팀이 진출을 못했는데요. 그거에 대해서 본인 의견은 어떻고, 사실 LCQ를 통해서 한국 팀이 올라올 것으로 예상을 하셨는지, 그리고 풀센스가 올라온 거에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시는지 궁금합니다.
일단 저는 사실상 일단은 동남아시아 쪽에서 저는 올라올 거라고 생각을 했고, 한국 팀에서는 이제 조금 많은 변화가 있었고 그 자리에 머무르는 실력을 가진 팀들도 있어서 딱히 그렇게 기대를 하지 않았고, 그리고 뭐 일본 팀 같은 경우에서도 조금 기대를 안 했는데 어느 정도 이제 치열한 경쟁을 보여줘서 재밌게 봤지만, 저는 동남아시아가 올라올 거라고 예상을 했지만 결국 풀센스가 올라온 것 같아요.
Alright, so actually I was expecting an SEA team to come up because there had been a lot of changes in the Korean teams that were playing at LCQ. So I assumed that they weren't going to perform as well. And as for Japan, I expected them to perform actually worse than they did, but they did quite well to make it to the finals. And so, yes, I did expect an SEA team, but I didn't specifically expect full sense.
Thank you.
Ashir Ahmed from the Spike.
My question is from Redger. Gambit, who managed to win Masters Berlin, but more recently had to encounter defeat from LDN United and ASIN in Red Bull home grounds. Do you think this defeat was motivation to practice harder and retain your champion status in this tournament?
I will answer for myself because for me, it's always motivations when you're losing. This is the way that's showing you what is your worst like points in your strategies or your individual performance. So it's always proves that you have a way how you can race and show better game the next time. So yeah, you're right. We started to practice much more when we did before that loss.
Thanks.
Mark from Absolute Legends.
My question for Redgar. Your coach said in the last interview that he is not happy with the team preparation and that the team lost motivation after Masters Berlin. Do you agree with him? And if you are not agree with him, explain the team preparation before VALORANT Champions from your side.
It was like he said it in Russian video or which one?
No, which was published in vct.gg.
Oh, I think he wasn't satisfied with our results, like when we were like in the middle of our bootcamp. But after a few things, after our motivation, things with the coach and the manager, we found out the solution how we should, like to raise up our minds, like reset and we started the preparation really good, and I guess we are right now much better when we were on bootcamp, and from each day we are becoming much better.
Спасибо.
Brandon from Run It Back.
Hi, this question is for Stacks. The other teams represented on the side of you have had a small sample size of Fracture, but Vision Strikers has not played an official map on Fracture yet. I'm just wondering what you think of the map, how it plays into the map pool, and what kind of plans you guys have, whether to play it, ban it, any preparation for that map specifically.
네, 비전 스트라이커즈 같은 경우에는 신규 맵 프랙처를 공식 대회에서 보여준 적이 아직 없는데요. 본인은 이 맵에 대해서 어떻게 생각하고 혹시 뭐 긍정적으로 평가하고 있는지, 실제로 맵 풀에서 활용을 할 건지 좀 공개를 해주실 수 있을까요?
처음에는 조금 이렇게 거리를 두었지만 점차 하다 보니까 이제 조합도 맞추면서 어떻게 하다 보니까 이제 저희 거의 주맵 정도로 좀 생각을 하고 있고요. 그 정도로 저희는 지금 자신감이 있고 딱히 부정적인 건 없고 어떤 팀이 와도 이긴다는 마인드긴 해요.
So initially, when the map was released, we tried to keep our distance from it. We weren't so sure about it, but after some practice, we're very confident in our performance on Fracture. Actually, I would say go as far as to say that it's one of our strongest maps, and we're confident that we could beat any team on Fracture.
Luis from Dexerto.
Hi, this question is for Redgar. After you won the Masters event in Berlin, you said that you saw your team at 60% of its potential. Would you say that you are closer now to your peak potential? And also, do you think that teams will be better prepared to face you than they were back in Berlin?
I think that right now we're not far away from that percentage. Maybe we will raise it about 2 or 3%. So I guess it will be harder right now because in the previous Berlin, the teams did not expect that we can make that far away and show that kind of performance. But right now they know that we are not like only screen gods, we're official gods too. And we're training much better right now. So I think that at the end of the tournament, we become much better.
Thank you.
Kobe Zucker, upcomer.
Hi, question for Zeke. You guys are in Group A, which has been kind of labeled as one of these groups with a lot of star Jets. How do you compare the Jets in your group between CNET and Ye and Paddy Pan and Teed? And between all those guys, who do you think is the strongest?
Can't really say who's the strongest. I mean, we have like CNET, Ye, Heat, they're all, Patifan also, but I think Patifan is like the lowest one from all the four. I cannot rank them because all of them like have their special, I think, quirks. Like everyone is of course a star player, but we don't know like what the rest of the players, like what EA, what Patifan, what Heat brings to the team other than just killing. So I'm just gonna be confident, you know, in our CNET, our Turkish superstar, and let him just run wild in our group and stomp everyone and jet diff everyone. Thank you.
Thanks.
Dustin Steiner, esports.gg.
Hi, this one's for Zeke. You guys recently defeated Gambit. Do you think that that victory has helped your confidence coming into Champions? And were you surprised that you were able to take Gambit down?
I'm not gonna say that we are surprised to take them down. We always smash them when it mattered the most. So we are pretty confident going into the match. The victory sure felt nice, and it gave us a boost of confidence, but then losing to Liquid kind of lowered that confidence again. But we learned a lot from all the tournaments we played up to now. From Masters, I think everybody in the team stepped individually, and we are a completely different team that we were at Masters 3.
Cool, thank you.
Adarsh from Sportskita.
Hey, my question is for Edgar. Nats is one of the most exciting players in the tournament. Can you tell us how much he's improved over the course of your bootcamp for the VALORANT Champions?
It's hard to say because we didn't see how to say it on screens. You are not playing like an official game, so I think that we will see that kind of the answer of that question when we are starting to play like our first and second game. So that's all I can say. I can tell you.
Kobe Zucker, upcomer.
Also for Redgar, based on your performance at Masters 3 and the group you guys are in, a lot of people think you guys are pretty much a lock to make playoffs. Does this expectation kind of burden you? Do you feel it as pressure, or does it make you confident that people think you guys are such a lock to get out of that group?
I think that we don't have a pressure because we're the same challengers that we were like in the previous Berlin, because there is no champion right now in this game. And everyone wants that title, and we all fight for that. And I think we can make it.
Thank you.
Our final question is from Elizabeth at The Score.
Hello, me again. Again, my question is again for Stacks. A lot of teams, players, and even fans and audience members are really looking forward to you and how you play and who you're going to play. I would love to know, who are you looking forward to playing and what are you looking forward to?
네, 많은 팀들과 선수들, 관계자들 그리고 팬들이 비전의 경기를 기대하고 있는데요. 혹시 본인은 어떤 팀이랑 경기를 하는 걸 가장 기대하고 계신가요?
일단은 그냥 경기에서 해보고 싶은 거는 MB랑 하고 싶고, 일단 제 목표는 이제 결승전에서 MBC랑 만나서 이기는 게 목표입니다.
So if I could pick a team that I wanted to play against, I would pick Envy. But if I could pick any game against any team, it would be a finals match against Gambit for revenge.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. And that concludes our second press conference. We will begin the third press conference shortly, but first we'll have the players stand up and take a photo. Conference. We're joined by Vivoki Maurice, Kuru Mazzino, Viking Sassy, and Furia Nauswer. Press had the option to submit questions beforehand, so we will be reading those first, and then we will take live Q&A. This first question is for Mazzino from Pedro Romero at The Click. Your team is a part of what many people describe as the group of death, alongside Team Liquid, Sentinels, and Furia. How tough do you think it is going to be for Crew to advance past this group and qualify for the knockout stage?
Obviamente va a ser complicado, no es un grupo fácil, pero como hemos dicho antes, no importa el equipo que está al frente, nosotros vamos a dar lo mejor que tenemos y intentar ganarlo, obviamente.
Doesn't really matter for us. It's going to be a tough match, of course, but regardless of who we're facing, we're going to give it the best and try to win it, of course.
This next question is for Nauswer from Pedro Romero at The Click. Prior to qualifying for Champions, Furia had the reputation of faltering at the last hurdle that separated them from winning major events and appearing at international lands. What enabled Furia to exercise their demons in the SA LCQ and qualify for Champions?
I think we improved a lot our communication for the last tournament that was the key to qualify to Champions. I think we play more like a team. We could get at that level to improve in the middle of the tournament every game. So that gives us a confidence to play the champions.
This next question is for Mazzino from Luis Fernando at Bonus Stage MX. How do you feel being the first Latin American team to play at VALORANT Worlds?
Es obviamente un orgullo inmenso ser con los representantes de nuestra región frente a todo el mundo. Nada más que orgullo.
We take a lot of pride in it. It's actually like amazing for us to be here and be the representatives of LATAM. Just pride.
This question is for Maurice from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. You were one of the best duelist players at Berlin, but also have experience playing Sova. With the addition of Mazwara, to the team, did you consider moving back to Sova at any point?
Yes, I do consider moving back to Sova, but for now I'll be taking the same role I did in Masters Berlin, that is being second duelist and flex.
This next question is for Sasi from Pedro Romero at The Click. Besides Vikings finishing 5th, 6th in Masters Reykjavik, Brazil hasn't performed well in international lands. How confident are you of Brazil's chances of seeing one of its teams advancing to the knockout stage?
Honestly, I won't lie. We are underdogs here. We are entering the Champions as underdogs, not just us Vikings, but Vivo, Cade, and Furia. And to be honest, for me, it's an advantage because like they don't have material to stud us. It's been a long time that we don't play tournaments. So yeah, people won't respect us and we will show a big surprise for them.
This next question is for Nauswer from Pedro Romero at The Click. What must the team do to continue their momentum that was created from the LCQ for Champions?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What must your team do to continue your momentum that you built at LCQ for Champions?
I think that we our momentum in last chance was happening in every game to make it to here. We feel like every tournament that we play in the past in Brazil was we take the third place, but we learn a lot in those tournaments. We changed it a lot. Our psychologists make a really good work. We couldn't handle it to make it to now here.
This next question is for Mazzino from Luis at Tribute Gamer. What feeling do you feel being in the group with Sentinels? And could Crew give the highest potential and win against Sentinels?
Como dije anteriormente, no importa quién tengamos al frente, vamos a dar lo mejor que tengamos y obviamente, como es el último torneo, el más importante del año, vamos a dar todo lo que tenemos, lo mejor.
As I just said, it's basically it doesn't matter who we're facing against. It's the last tournament of the year, and we just have to give it all. So let's give us whoever we've got.
This next question is for Maurice from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. We have heard mixed news about scrim performance from the Brazilian teams at Champions. How do you feel preparation has gone so far? Are you confident in making it out of groups over Ascend or Envy?
Sure, we are very confident in our gameplay. We are practicing a lot, and I think we have the potential to beat any team in our tournament, in next special Ascend or Envy. Anyway.
This next question is for Mazzino from Luis Fernando at Bonus Stage MX. What do you consider to be the skills that the team has, and do you think those skills can take you to the final?
Según yo, nuestras cosas como principales como equipo son la estructura que tenemos dentro del juego y algo que hemos tenido, los problemas que hemos tenido en los torneos anteriores, que ha sido como la falta de creatividad, por decirlo así, en medio de los rounds. Eso lo hemos ido mejorando y esperamos que en el Mundial se demuestre.
One of the things that we have as a team is basically the communication and the organization we have inside. And one of the problems we had in prior tournaments was the lack of creativity between rounds. But now we've worked a lot of that and we'll show much improvement right now.
Next question is for Mazzino from Ricardo Vaz de Melo at V-Zone. Crew is considered the biggest Latam force and are one of the 3 teams that were in Masters Reykjavik, Berlin, and now Champions. Does this give you more pressure? Does the team feel more pressure?
No sabría si llamarlo presión. Digo, presión no, porque ya hemos demostrado todo el año que somos de los mejores de Latinoamérica. Pero sí nos da como esa sensación de tener que hacerlo bien, sí o sí.
I wouldn't call it pressure per se, because we've proven ourselves before that we are one of the best teams in LATAM, but it does give us like the right or the need to try and be the best again.
This next question is for Maurice for V-Zone. You guys are now back in Berlin to play Champions. With the boot camp, what did you feel that the team improved during your boot camp?
Well, so I think we were able to get better in a lot of aspects that we were trying to improve. Fundamentals was one of the most important, and those things they are really difficult to practice in Brazil. So I think with the bootcamp we were able to achieve at least like close to what we wanted to play, you know. Yeah, that's mostly it. It helps a lot playing versus very good teams. Every screen is really hard, and we're just very happy to play here in this practice here.
This next question is for Sasi from V-Zone. The expectations on Vikings are huge. For some people, the team already qualified for the playoffs. How are you guys working to not let this distract you?
I mean, for us, we are not qualified for the playoffs, of course. Like, people are saying that's group, but there's no easy group for us, honestly. Like, okay, our first match against Crazy Raccoons, but we still have Gambit and we still have Team Secret. They are not bad teams. Crazy Raccoon is not a bad team. So we are not like facing Crazy Raccoon as like, okay, we got an easy team. No, that's not how it works. We are taking that like baby steps. Okay, we need to face Crazy Raccoon first. So, okay, let's try to win against them first, and then we think about the next opponent. So yeah, just baby steps first. We're not qualified.
This next question is for Maurice from Adarsh Kumar at Sportskeeda. We witnessed the excellence of Heat in VCT Stage 3 Masters. How does Heat compare against top Jet players like Tens, CNED, or Ye?
For me, he's the best Jet in the world. I really appreciate watching him play. I think like the players you said like are the top 4 for me, but it's just really good to play with him. I learn a lot from him. He's actually an inspiration for me. He's really good in the duels, and like it's just it's a pleasure for me to play like with a really good player at my side.
Our final pre-submitted question is for Sassy from VZone. As Sadak said in a previous interview, the boot camp was really important and helpful for your team. After this boot camp, do you feel now that Vikings are prepared for champions?
For sure. Like we feel that now we understand more about the game, more about the macro feelings. So yeah, now we understand what we are doing on the map, because before it was really hard. So yeah, the boot camp was necessary for us. So we are confident to face the next opponents on this champions.
We will now transition to taking live questions from journalists in the Zoom call. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature to queue yourself in line for a question, and I will call on you. You may ask your question in Portuguese, Spanish, or English. Alejandro from Jinx Esports.
Hola, mi pregunta va a ser para Masino de Crew Esports. Como sabemos, siempre que se enfrentan a los equipos de Brasil, el resultado siempre ha sido igual. Como ya lo vimos con Sharks, ya lo vimos también con Kit. ¿Piensas que pasará lo mismo en el caso de que se dé ese enfrentamiento con Furia? ¿Y qué piensas acerca de enfrentarte a Sentinels o a Team Liquid?
Como ya he dicho un par de veces ya, que no importa quién tengamos al frente, vamos a dar lo mejor que tengamos, no importa quién sea. Y respecto a lo de los equipos de Brasil, digo, uno nunca sabe realmente, que sea lo que Dios quiera. Siempre digo eso yo.
So the question was, every time you faced against the Brazilian teams, both Sharks and Vivo KD in the past, the result has been the same. Do you think it will be repeated? It will repeat itself, against Furia? And what do you think about facing Sentinels and Team Liquid? Masino's answer was that, as he said in the past, it doesn't matter who he's facing against. He'll do everything he can, even if it's Sentinels or Team Liquid. And respecting the Furia thing, they really don't have like an opinion. Everything can happen, everything can change. So just that respect for his fellow American.
Ignacio from Alerta Geek.
Hola, mi pregunta es para Masino. Hace un par de conferencias atrás le pregunté a Chazam y a Jumpy qué opinaban de Crew. Y ambos dijeron que era un equipo que impresionaba y que sobre todo sobresalían en las prácticas. Pero fuera de las prácticas como que se perdían un poco. ¿Por qué pasa eso?
Según yo, eso pasa obviamente porque la mayoría de nosotros no tenía ninguna experiencia en torneos presenciales, y obviamente salir como de la nada a un torneo presencial internacional así de grande te afecta un poco, pero gracias a las 2 Masters que estuvimos ya, sé que llegamos bien preparados para el Mundial.
Muchas gracias.
So the question was that a couple of conferences ago, the reporter asked Shazam and Jampy what they thought about Crew Esports, and they said that they were a really good team on practices and scrims, but then at the stage they would lack a lot of skill. And then Masino's answer was that it happens mostly because they didn't really have a lot of international experience in their past, but now with the 2 Masters that have already happened, he doesn't really think that will happen again.
Ricardo Vaz de Melo.
Salve. Minha pergunta
ZR, eu queria saber como que você acha que o time de vocês vai lidar com a pressão de jogar o primeiro evento internacional, né, do time e ainda num grupo que é considerado o grupo da morte.
When we play Last Chance, I see that we don't feel any pressure, and I think like we are mostly the underdogs of the group, so I'm pretty sure that we play without any pressure this tournament.
Obrigado.
So the question was, I would like to know how your team will deal with the pressure of your first international event and the so-called group of death.
Lucas, Esports GG Brazil.
Olá, pessoal. Minha pergunta é para o Maurice, da Vivo Cage. É a segunda vez que vocês vão para um campeonato internacional e acredito que alguns ânimos deve ter já acalmado um pouco, mas agora vocês vêm com um jogador que nunca teve uma participação no Valorant Internacional. Você acha que isso pode trazer algum tipo de peso para a equipe?
Primeiramente, boa noite. Eu acredito que a gente já vinha bem preparado até para o primeiro campeonato em relação a mental. A maioria dos jogadores do nosso time tem bastante experiência. A gente consegue passar bastante isso para os outros jogadores também. E em relação à MWZera, eu duvido que algo disso vai afetar. Ele é um cara muito confiante, né, nele como pessoa, nele como jogador. Ele sabe muito bem o que ele quer e eu duvido que isso seja um problema para a gente.
Muito obrigado, boa noite para vocês.
Valeu.
This is your second international event, and I feel like now you guys must be with a lot of calmer than before. But now you have a new player on your team. Do you think that this will be a waste on your team going to this championship? And the answer was, I believe that we were fine last time, mentally speaking as well. Every one of our teammates have experience, and we can use that on our next tournaments. And with relation to MW, nothing can affect him very much. He's very confident as a player, and he is really good in the game as well. So we feel very confident with him in our team.
Only Gamers Latam.
Thank you. My question is for Mazino. Hola Mazino, ¿cómo estás? Quiero saber si hay algún mapa que consideras más desequilibrado para ustedes jugar en, considerando el grupo donde está Crew, y qué opinas sobre Fracture en Valorant Champions.
Así como un mapa más desequilibrante para nuestro favor, no diría así como alguno específico, pero no hay ninguno específico. Y respecto a Fracture, obviamente es un mapa muy interesante porque cambia totalmente, digo, comparado a otros mapas, y va a ser interesante verlo en el Mundial.
Muchas gracias.
The question was whether there was any map that Massino considered unbalanced against Crew Esports facing this group, and what he thought about Fracture being here at Champions. The answer was he doesn't really think that there is a map or a specific map where they feel disadvantaged, and that Fracture actually changes a lot of things to like the whole competitive, and it'll be something really interesting to see here at Champions.
Kobe Zucker, upcomer.
Hi, also for Mazzino, you're one of the few players that's been at all the international lands for the VCT. I'm wondering how the anticipation for Champions compares to previous events, if there's anything special about it.
Sí, obviamente tiene algo especial porque es como al ser el último torneo del año, es como el culmine de como la emoción, por decirlo así, en el que realmente uno quiere demostrar todo lo que tiene, todo lo que ha trabajado este año.
Yeah, of course it's something special because it's the last tournament of the year. It's what you've worked all year long to get, and it's like the climax of everything. So we obviously want to prove all we're worth.
Thank you.
Mark, Absolute Legends.
Sorry, I'm mute. My question for Ceci. Team Vikings played last official match in August, over 3 months ago. Have you managed to save a competitive spirit in a team during this time? Because official matches and scrims are different things.
Well, we have been working quietly, to be honest. We took like 1-2 weeks off and then got back to scrims. So yeah, like you said, it's pretty different to screen and play competitive. We're missing it. Like we are too excited to play the tournament now, the champions. So yeah, but I feel like we are ready for it. You know, like we have been prepared for 2 months, and we since January we set the goal that we need to come to champions, and we got it. We got the spot. Now we are here, so that's what we came for, and we are ready. That's it.
Thank you.
Brandon, run it back.
Hi, this is another one for Mazzino. As the only Latin American team that has made it to these international lands, you know, even with a Brazil team coming through the South American Last Chance qualifier, what is something the rest of the region needs to do to represent on this international stage for whatever Valorant holds in 2022?
Según yo, nuestra región en sí va bien encaminada, se podría decir, pero falta como más profesionalismo de una forma para que los equipos crezcan más y se impulsen unos a otros y así poder poder representar más internacionalmente.
I actually think that our region is well in course of going places, but we still lack some professionality in many of the teams, and we really need like each team to support each other in order to grow together as a region and then bid and prove more in the international stage together.
Pratiti Sportskita.
Hi, my question will be to Noswell of Furia. So, Furia will be facing Sentinels in their first match. I just wanted to know how much is the team prepared and confident to face them?
Like I said before, I think our team is not feeling any pressure to that match. We are prepared. We have a lot of things that we changed. We made a boot camp here in this area. We put a lot of our biggest lacks that we have in our team, that was communication and the way that we lead the games. Yeah, shows that.
Average Jonas, representing a watch party.
Hello, my name is Jonas. I like to shoot arrows. I have a question for Sassy. I was wondering how much of, because you've played solo quite a lot, so I was wondering how much of your preparations in custom lobbies and ability usage, how much of that has made you prepare the tactics for your team?
Oh, hi, Jonas. Big fan.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, you know, I got the spots from you, bro. To be honest. Oh, yeah, like, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I got the spots a lot from you, dude. I got from your videos. So
Thank
that's funny. I got a lot from you, dude. But yeah, thank you a lot. You got me to champions, bro.
Thank you. I'll cheer for you, man. That's good to hear. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ricardo Vaz de Melo.
Salve, minha pergunta é para o Maurice. No Master de Berlim, Maurice, a gente viu vocês fazerem boas partidas, né, contra a Cru e contra a Envy, e com placares bastante apertados. E a gente sentiu que vocês tiveram um pouco de dificuldade para poder fechar essas partidas, né, que foram com placares muito apertados. O que você acha que vai ser preciso para isso não acontecer nesse campeonato?
Salve, Ricardo. Bom, primeiramente, é sobre o que eu falei mais cedo, questão de conceito de mapa, conceito de FPS mesmo. Nos 2 jogos a gente cometeu alguns erros que acabaram afetando um pouco o mental da nossa equipe, e eu acredito que para essa vez a gente focou bastante nisso. a gente vai chegar bem mais preparado, errando menos, e acredito que essa dificuldade de fechar os mapas não vai acontecer novamente. E realmente são coisas que a gente consegue evitar, e a gente vai conseguir fechar os mapas provavelmente quando acontecer.
Valeu.
Deu uma tiltada.
The question was on M3 Berlin. We saw that you had really good matches against Crew and Envy. They were very close, but you had difficulty to close the matches. So what do you think it will be needed this time so that this won't happen again? So Moody's answer was, as I said earlier, it has a lot to do with the concept of map. And even though like we made a few mistakes in the beginning that affect our mental game at first, and during this time we corrected that and we practiced a lot, and we feel like we are much more prepared now to avoid this type of mistakes early map, and we really think that we will be able to avoid that and do much better this time.
Gabriel, MGG Brazil.
Ok, thank you. Minha pergunta é para o Maurice. Maurice, essa lineup da Vivo Cage, né, foi formada por jogadores que vieram de diferentes times, né, e vocês tiveram um encaixe muito rápido, né, tanto que se classificaram para o Masters de Berlim, mas enfim, alguns detalhes fazendo alguns jogos importantes e não conseguiram ir para os playoffs, né? E é uma pergunta dupla. Como tem sido a adaptação do MW0 ao time, né, nessa nova composição de vocês, e em que ponto você acha que a equipe mais amadureceu para não repetir os erros que foram cometidos lá no Masters de Berlim?
Bom, a adaptação com o MW0 foi bem tranquila. Ele é um cara que entende, que aprende fácil, que aprende rápido. Ele é muito esforçado também. E também a ideia dele de jogo, a gameplay dele se encaixou bastante com o time, então não teve tanta dificuldade, não precisamos adaptar tanto assim dentro de jogo. E em relação aos jogos do Mundial, você pode repetir a pergunta, por favor, novamente? Que eu não lembro o finalzinho.
Não, claro, claro. É que, enfim, alguns jogos são decididos nos detalhes, lá no Masters de Berlim vocês acabaram perdendo, né? E em que você acha que a equipe mais amadureceu, enfim, para que esses erros que foram cometidos lá em Berlim não se repitam no Champions?
Bom, eu acredito que a consciência de conseguir jogar mais como equipe e tentando menos de decidir no individual, principalmente em momentos de vantagem. Então, esses fatores afetam bastante no final da partida. Então, a gente vai conseguir fechar os jogos e, se tudo der certo, conseguir passar para os playoffs.
Muito obrigado.
So the question was, before, Cage lineup was made of players that came from all different teams, and they fit together so fast, but unfortunately they could not go to playoffs. So right now you added MW. What happened? Like what you feel like the team group grow up in order not to make mistakes again? So Moody's answer was, the adaptation was very easy. MW learns really fast and he's very hardworking. His gameplay is really similar to ours. And about the Masters before, I believe that the conscience of the gameplay, like team play, improved a lot, and not like a solo play like we often fell back to. Like we are playing more as a team, and in the end of the game, this gets a lot of advantage, and it shows in the end of the matches that these mistakes will not be made again. And I believe that with that, we will be able to go through.
Augusto, Latin Power.
Hi guys, so my question is for Massino. ¿Qué tal, Massino? Te quería preguntar, previamente mencionabas que el crecimiento que tuvo el equipo tras sus participaciones internacionales en los Masters, ¿no? Se dio, de cara a su primer encuentro contra Liquid. ¿Cómo compararías el nivel actual que tiene Crew Esports y Liquid respecto a su encuentro en Reykjavik de hace 7 meses?
Obviamente nosotros demostramos que se mejoró de gran manera desde Reykjavik a Berlín, y ahora de nuevo nos enfrentamos contra Team Liquid y ellos también cambiaron cosas y mejoraron demasiado como demostraron últimamente. Así que va a ser un encuentro muy interesante de ver y de jugar, obviamente.
So the question was that they faced against Team Liquid in the past, and how would how did Masino compare the level of team play of Team Liquid and Crew from last time from Masters Reykjavik? So Masino's answer was that he actually feels like both teams have grown a lot since then. Crew Esports obviously has proven that, and Team Liquid has also done his fair changes with Nivera coming in. So he actually feels that this match will be really interesting and basically a whole different story.
Our final question goes to Neil at the score.
It's Niall from the Score Esports here. My question's for Stassi. You spent many, many years competing in League of Legends, and I'm sure that one of your main goals was always to attend Worlds. So now you're about to compete in the equivalent of Worlds, but in a different Riot title. So I want to ask, how does it feel to represent Brazil at Champions?
Well, I mean, it's an honor for sure. I've always tried on League of Legends. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But I think one of the reasons that I'm here is because I tried on League of Legends. So yeah, it was a great experience for me. It has been a great ride. And because of League of Legends, I'm here today playing Champions on FPS game for Riot. So yeah, for me, it's a great honor. I'm just happy to be on part of this. So yeah, I'm just happy to be here on this press conference as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That will conclude the third press conference. We will continue with the fourth press conference soon, but first we will have the players stand up and get their photo taken. conference. This will be our final press conference of the night. I am joined by Full Sense PTC, Crazy Raccoon Ade, Team Secret Jesse, and X10 Cruz. Press had the option to pre-submit questions ahead of the event, and then we will transition to live questions and answers. This first question is for Jesse from Jeffrey Choi, KJC Esports. Your first match will be against the current top of the food chain, Gambit Esports. With the recent scrimming done, do you think Team Secret had enough preparations, or would you have hoped to have a little bit more time?
I think I'm not expecting anything, but I think we have a chance. We'll do our best and just have some fun. We are not expecting anything, but I think we have the chance.
This next question is for PTC from Jeffrey Choi at KJC Esports. You will be playing the first game and match of the LAN experience at Champions. How is the team feeling? Do you think you'll be able to take the APAC LCQ momentum going into Champions and go for the gold?
ก็คือเราจะเป็นคนที่เล่นเกมแรกในแชมเปี้ยนนะครับคิดว่าเราจะสามารถสร้างโมเมนตัมเหมือนตอน LCQ ได้หรือเปล่า
ก็เล่นเต็มที่แหละครับประมาณว่าทัวร์นี้ไม่ได้คาดหวังอะไรอยู่แล้วก็แค่เล่นเกมของเราเล่นเพลงของเราแค่นั้นเอง
so we will try our best and we don't have expectations set so we will just play our own game and try our best.
This next question is for Cruz from Jeffrey Choi at KJC Esports. During those 3 to 4 months of no international play, how has the team utilized that time to prepare for Champions? Should we expect a new play style, comps, and the like?
Might be a bit of a spoiler here, but yes, because we have a lot of time, and from the 3 and 4 months that we had a break, it was all just to play here. So nothing before this matters. In like the next few days is what is going to matter.
This next question is for Jesse from Nigel at One Esports. Which player are you most excited to go up against at VALORANT Champions?
Players should be Hiko, but he's not there. For now, we're looking for Nuts to see how he flank, he lurk, to see how we can react on his playstyle.
This next question is for Ade from Sports Kita. Compared to the other regions, Japan has a setback in the international LAN. No Japanese team has made it out of the group stage in Masters Berlin. How confident is the team of getting out of group stage this time at Champions?
過去の国際トーナメントで、日本のチームが、予選から抜けたことがないと思うんですけれども、今回、チャンピオンズにおいてその予選を抜けられるかどうか、チームとしての自信のほどを教えてください。
そうですね、自信の方は、今のところあって、それがあるのは、多くの練習を積み重ねてきたっていう自分たちの、努力の、表れっていうか、練習はいっぱいしてきたので、あとはそれを本番で出せるかっていうところだけだと思っているので、その本番で力を出せれば全然グループは抜けれると思っていますね。
So I'm really confident for this champions. So we really prepared for this tournament, and I think it matters that we can show what we prepared for at the game.
This next question is for Jesse from Nigel at One Esports. What was Team Secret's reaction when they found out their first group stage match was against Gambit?
Actually, we are very happy to match against them since they are the Masters Berlin champions and we are the Masters Berlin missing team. It's like them delivering the experience for us. What and to see how far we can go against the best teams right now, and maybe get some experience that we can use in our journey towards the tournament. But yeah, but seeing the bracket, I think we are very confident to. I think we can make it to the playoffs.
This next question is for PTC from Jeffrey Choi at KJC Esports. Vision Strikers will be your first game. How well do you think you will fare against the team in terms of play style, where SEA teams are more explosive and willing to make risky plays, while Vision Strikers are more precise in their executes?
เกมแรกที่จะเจอกับVision Striker คิดว่าจะทำได้ดีไหมในเชิงของ play style เพราะว่า SEA ทีมเนี่ยเหมือนจะถนัดในด้านการ make play อะไรมากกว่าแต่ว่าทีมของ Vision Striker เองเนี่ยอาจจะเล่นได้ค่อนข้างรอบคอบแม่นยำมากกว่า
ก็ตอนก่อนเริ่มทัวร์นาเมนต์ก่อนจับสายก็เหมือนคุยกันในทีมแล้วครับว่าวิชั่นเป็นทีมที่ไม่อยากเจอที่สุดแต่ว่าจับออกมาเป็นทีมที่ได้เจอทีมแล้วก็คงแพ้ทางแล้วมั้งครับแต่ว่าจะทำให้ดีที่สุด
So they already talked in the team, and Vision Striker is a team that they do not want to face, but actually they're meeting at the first match. So in terms of the play style, they might be maybe a bit under, but then they will try their best.
This next question is for Jesse from Pedro Romero at The Click. What is it like to finally step foot at an international land after not being able to play in Masters Berlin due to COVID-related travel complications?
Well, it feels great to actually compete. Finally, we can show how Southeast Asia or Filipino team play our play style. Yeah, we can show our play style.
This next question is for Cruz from Jeffrey Choi at KJC Esports. Patafan has been under recovery for his wrist. Will that affect the team's play style in any way?
No, because he, to be honest, his wrist was always injured. He was never fine. And when he came back, we just played the same way we used to play. So it's just more of like the time we get to play together, bond, and try to mix something up, get some stuff up, more play styles, stuff like that. It's just his injury doesn't really affect us as much. Yep.
This next question is for Jesse from Jeffrey Choi at KJC Esports. After scrimming against MEA, NA, and the rest of the teams, how do you think the Philippine or SEA style of play stands against the other regions?
Oh, I think maybe no comment because we have great scrims against top teams in EU that I cannot share right now. So I think you will see it in the game.
This next question is for PTC from Adarsh from Sportskita. This is the first international VALORANT LAN tournament for Full Sense. How does it feel to represent the region in the champions? And how confident is the team in the performance?
นี่จะเป็นทัวร์นาเมนต์ international แรกของทีมแล้วคิดว่าทีมเนี่ยมั่นใจขนาดไหน
ก็เป็นงานแรกก็ไม่มีความกดดันอะไรครับส่วนความมั่นใจก็คิดว่าถ้าผ่านวิชั่นได้ก็น่าจะผ่านไปถึงเพลย์ออฟได้ครับ
Because this is the first event, they don't have much pressure to do well, and then they think if they can pass vision, they should be off to playoffs.
Our final pre-submitted question is for Ade from George at Upcomer. How would you distinguish your play style compared to other regions?
阿部さんのプレースタイルを他の地域とかチームと比較してどう表現しますか？
そうですね、ちょっと難しいんですけど、そうだな。アグレッシブとは言えない、動きだとは思ってるんですけど、特に相手の動きをよく考えた動きを自分ではすると思ってて、その対応力という面ではかなり優れていると自分では考えてますね。
It's hard to describe, but we say we are not that much of aggressive play style, but we are more like adaptive play style compared to other region.
We will now take live Q&A from media in the Zoom room. Media, please use the Zoom hand raise feature to queue yourself in line, and I will call on you to ask your question. You may ask your question in Thai, Japanese, or English. Brandon from Run It Back.
Hi, this is for whoever would really like to answer it. We have a user in our YouTube stream who just is curious how the time zone change affects you guys. Obviously, you've probably shown up a little earlier and gotten used to it, but what kind of changes do you have to overcome when it comes from going to your time zone to this one to play?
For me, I had an experience before in Iceland where I sleep for 12 hours every day and it's never enough, and it's still the same here. So yeah, I get a lot of sleep, I guess. That's all.
For full sense, it did not affect anything.
Ashir, the Spike.
Hi. So my question is for X10. Your opening matchup is against Envy, who made the grand finals in Masters Berlin. How do you feel about the team's confidence going against Envy with such a dominant form in recent events?
To be honest, me personally, I'm really happy that we got matched up against Envy because, like he just said, that they're the teams that went into the finals. So if we beat them, then we can make it to the finals as well, right? So it's not that hard. I would say we just need to work on maybe firepower, map awareness, trading, movement, probably everything. But yeah, we'll do good, guys. Don't worry. We got this. Don't worry.
Cody Zucker, upcomer.
This question is also for Cruz. When we spoke a few weeks ago, one of the things we discussed was that you felt confidence coming into the event was going to be the biggest factor in whether you can play against teams like Envy and the other favorites. Now that you've had time in Berlin and you've scrimmed against all these teams, do you feel like you're going to have that confidence on the stage?
To be honest, we're pretty confident. Can't talk about much about the scrims we had, but then we feel pretty confident here. It's just about that if we don't go up on stage and like shake, because we have Ye here who's like really, really calm. So maybe I must be working on like how to be as calm as him, maybe sleep on stage, something like that. Maybe we'll do better. Yeah, but no worries. I think we can do better than last time. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, the Score.
Hi, again, gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. My question is for PTC. This is your first big VCT stage, which has been aforementioned by another journalist. And you've already been asked how you were feeling, but I would love to know specifically, what are you looking forward to? Is it your match against Vision Strikers? Is it if and when you pass Vision Strikers, matches after that? What specifically are you looking forward to?
We are looking to win Vision Striker first, and then there's nothing much for us to concern about.
Mark, Absolute Legends.
Hello everyone, my question for Curious. You had a successful period of time in this year when a team played without Bedefan, who had an injury. You have already said that you have confidence, team confidence, but my question is, had the team confidence in the first days and weeks after Betafon return? Because yep, that's all.
Was that was that question for me?
Yes.
Could you repeat it, please?
Yep. Okay, Betafon had an injury. Without him, you have an unsuccessful period of time in this year. After he returned to this team, had the team confidence in the first days and weeks of Prax?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because to be honest, it's really hard to play with one guy out, and he's our main duelist. Like, you know, he's like the star player. We try to make him make his own plays, and having him back actually boosts a lot of our confidence itself. But then it's more of like a team momentum game where we are used to the 5 players we have. So when we have him back, it's much better than when we lost him in one of the period during the scene. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ashir, the Spike.
Hi again. So my question is for Aid from Crazy Raccoon. Being the only team here representing Japan, do you feel the pressure of this event? And are you confident in your ability to outshine Team Vikings in your opening game?
たくさんの視聴者がいる日本からの代表ということで、そこでプレッシャーを感じたりすることはありますか？また初戦のチームバイキング戦とかに対しての意気込みやそれに対してのプレッシャーなどがあればお聞かせください。
そうですね、プレッシャーはありますね。やはりいろいろな方々の応援を背負ってるっていうのをやっぱ自覚してきてるので、プレッシャーはありますけど、対戦相手に対するプレッシャーはまあそんなにはないですね。いろいろやはり準備してきてることもあるので、それをあとはもう舞台で発揮するだけだと思ってるので、そうですね。はい、対戦相手に対してはそんなにプレッシャーはないです。
Yeah, honestly, I have a pressure because we had a lot of support from our fans and communities from Japan, but I don't have a pressure against opponent because it's just we just play as we prepared for, and result comes after.
Kobe Zucker, upcomer.
This is also for Ade. Crazy Raccoon are one of the teams that have been through all 3 events, but obviously yourself haven't. What does the team feel like anticipating Champions? And do you personally feel different from the team since this is your first international land compared to them?
過去の国際戦でのクレイジーラクーンの戦績はあまりいいものではなかったと思うんですけれども、今回チャンピオンズにおいて前回との大会との比較してその自信とかプレッシャーとかなんか以前との違いがあれば教えてください。
そうですね、以前の大会を経験して多くのそうですね、情報だったりその経験だったりを多く積んだので、ですね、前よりは確実に良くなっていると思っています。
Compared to before, we learned a lot from international tournament, and we experienced a lot. So yes, I'm confident for this champion.
Thank you.
Taib Muhammad, my game on.
Hello. This is for Team Secret. Since you guys having a rough situation before the Master Berlin, and then and things happen, does it affect your team and how you guys prepare for this champion?
I think when we are watching Masters Berlin, we really feel like we can win the tournament. So basically, playing against Gambit in our first match is to know what may be the result if we can make it in the Berlin Masters. And our preparations are always consistent, even off season or with majors like this. We are every day practicing same routine every week. Yeah, so I think we are well prepared on these champions.
Okay, thank you.
Dustin Steiner, Esports GG.
Hey, this is for everybody here. All four of your teams are kind of considered underdogs in this tournament. Do you think that that gives you an advantage coming into the tournament, like when you face teams from NA and EU?
To me, I think it does because, like, sometimes they just don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might get some freebies here and there, maybe, but then, yeah, it's mostly that kind of might change some things in the game. But yeah, but not as much though.
Anyone else can answer as well.
Yeah, actually it does. Same like in scrims. The first day, second day, I think we are having a hard time finding good scrims against good teams. But after playing against them, based on the result, they are the one asking us the next day. Yeah, I think we have a thing to surprise.
阿部さん、今回の大会において、クレイジーラクーンとかその他の東南アジアの地域のチームが、あまり高く評価されてないっていうところは事実としてあると思うんですけれども、それは本大会においてチームにとってアドバンテージになると思いますか？
そうですね。そこら辺はアドバンテージになると思ってるんですけど、こちらに来るのも個人としては2回目で多くのヨーロッパのチームとスクリームさせていただいて、その評価通りになるとは思わない方がいいですよっていうのは言っておきたいですね。
Yeah, I think it gives us advantages, and we prepared a lot to these champions, and we also had lots of scrims against other teams. And I want to say to other opponent, don't expect the same for this tournament.
เพราะว่า4ทีมนี้เป็นทีมที่เรียกว่าเป็น underdog เนี่ยคิดว่าอันเนี้ยสร้างadvantage ให้เราหรือเปล่าเวลาเจอทีม NA หรือ EU
ไม่ครับ น่าจะเหมือนของครูที่ตอบเมื่อกี้เลย
He doesn't think so. He doesn't think that it's an advantage and similar to what Cruz answered already.
Thank you, guys.
Our final question is for Adarsh at Sportskita.
My question is for Aid from Crazy Raccoon. Where do you think Japan as a country ranks compared to the other regions in Valorant esports?
Could you repeat the question again?
Oh yeah. Where do you think Japan as a nation, as a country, stands when compared to the other regions in Valorant esports?
阿部さん、日本がバロラント e スポーツにおいて、他の地域より、秀でてるものがあるとすれば何だと思いますか？
そうですね。多くはちょっと語れないんですけど、やっぱり作戦の密度だったり、相手がやってきた時の対応だったりはいろいろ考えてますね。
I can't say much of it, but we planned and more deeper than other team, so I think we can do more adjustable play at the game.
All right, everyone, that concludes our pre-Champions Berlin press conference. Champions will begin tomorrow at 3 p.m. Wednesday, December 1st, with the first match between Vision Strikers and Full Sense. Thank you guys for joining us, and players, go ahead and stand